afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacaster. Me, host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Site Defender of the Fatherland. Off here, an exciting on 1 vs 1 on Angle, which in the south we got SteffenBK. Fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, the 1 and 14th Infanterie Division. West and north we got Artem, 89, fighting here for the Soviet Union. Socialism, the 7th Mechanized Corps. We got here Mobile Defense Lightning War and elite troops with double infantry Panzerfaust versus armored assault tactics from Artem with infantry, engineer and penal trooper bulletins. Special commands out here, probably going to push out some penal troopers here versus Steffen. In the south we got the infantry coming up with the MD42 grenadiers here for Steffen. He pushes eastwards for the fatherland, Germany, looking to secure the lines here for the 1 and 14th Infanterie Division and stabilize the front. Why going up here to help fortify the house, protect it, make it harder here for Artem to sneak in to push around the carve point. Grenadiers got their line for SteffenBK with their K9TKs tightly clenched in their hands. He needs to bring westwards there. And with the sort of startup here Artem's going for, he's going to be a bit slow then getting actual troops onto the field. Map control wise, he's going to have to rely on just punching above his weight here with the penal troopers. Most players will usually go for an extra engineer squad or country squad. But Artem instead focuses just pushing out as many penal troopers as fast as possible, which of course means he will have more penal troopers faster. But in the meanwhile, until he has them, he's going to be falling behind in map control compared to Steffen, who's just moving ahead rapidly. But I note he's using the machine gun somewhat aggressively. But as long as he's got units nearby to support with it, it should not be too dangerous. Second gun is going there for Steffen. Penal troopers carrying points here, and certainly versus a penal trooper build. MD42s tend to be a lot more useful if they can sort of catch them, because again, A, you're just already falling behind on map control, in particular with this kind of push, but again, they're just more expensive, there's less around, so again, if we just push one back fast enough, there'll usually be some sort of benefit. And there you go, penal trooper spotted here. With this, of course, Steffen knows what Artem is playing at. We'll of course have to see where he fell reacts. Got him before setting up here. Penal troopers moving ahead there, crossing into the terrain. Does he react in time? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Then MD42 there catches the penal troopers, opening up with vicious bursts, suppressing and pushing them back, and there you go, eliminating Pushkin. Third grenadier squad there for Steffen. This one squad is being sent westwards. You can see the Archer basically plays around. Instead of engaging Steffen, it only hits for the carve point. Also could use the theory of the house here against Steffen, so that's a good strike here. Very good strike. Instead now pulling up into the heavy cover, but there's promised, of course, there's going to be an MD42 nearby though. Plays around. Artem here is certainly quick on his feet against Steffen, making it harder for Steffen to pin him down. There we go, third grenadier squad arriving. Artem's now going for his third penal trooper squad. Going to bring from here, and then he's going to try and catch him, I think, between the two grenadiers, and then try to force retreat past the MD42. Not going so good here for the grenadiers, so far the S5040s are quickly dropping the grenadiers like sacks of potatoes, and there go other grenadiers coming from the other side, catching the penal troopers in a crossfire. But the grenadiers here could actually risk being wrapped with a small tree. There you go, Jesse moves to the MD42, the penal troopers rush past. He sets up here to open up. We also get another penal trooper squad sitting up here. A lot of pressure here on the east, a lot of engagements. Reposition the machine gun pretty rapidly. Needs to be careful that to get caught by the penal troopers too easily. In the west here we got grenadiers versus engineers. And Artem will probably setting up for another penal trooper squad. Could also go for scout car or snipers. Artem is also known as DFS Crow or Cat Molo, and of course is a really big fan of scout cars, if you know him. Like, he always goes for them. Always. So if you're unprepared for that, you can usually end up in some rather sticky situations. There we go. We got the M3A1 on the way there for Artem. American Lend-Lease vehicle there supplied to the Russians. Used a lot by their advanced formations. The Rota Svetki, whose job it was basically to reconnoiter German lines, find vital points, and then sort of attack and occupy them until the rest of the Russian British army could, move in and then push through. Little fun facts. We got telemines down here. Steffen probably to an extent knows what's coming, but of course also just good to have telemines down for later. MD4 sitting up here, slightly moving behind. Penal troopers moving up. Flamethrower engineers is going to be able to counter this pretty hard. He's got a mortar out there. This kind of build of the mortar might see some usage, but it's only going to struggle a bit there containing the scout car. So we'll have to see what ends up with here for Steffen. Got the western field there being secured. We got troops pushing MD4 to come there. Goes straight into it, ahead with it. Got no grenadiers nearby with Panzerfaust to support the MD4 inside the house. Pops out here. Wire already destroyed. Grenadiers here suffering to the penal troopers. Pioneers already being rushed back, turning into a bit of chaos. And the MD42 is going to get wiped. Panzerfaust off, but the MD42 is down. Flamethrower engineers pop out. He might be able to destroy the scout car, but Artem, I think, will be able to get away with the MD42. And there we go. Grenadiers retreating. Rifle grenade off. The rifle grenade off. Just Almost there. Desperately trying to prevent him from getting away with it, but I fear it's too late here for Steffen. Artem scores a massive coup in the early game. Even when he loses the scout car, stealing an enemy MG42 is pretty huge. I mean, there's not just the manpower lost to your opponent, which is 260 manpower, but there's also just you secure that machine gun for yourself. So that is a pretty big win there for Artem tactically here. Certainly puts Steffen in a rather sticky situation. Did he actually lose a Grenadier squad as well? He did. So not only did Steffen lose the Grenadier squad, well, an MG42, he lost the Grenadier squad on this. This is a really bad start for Steffen. Really bad start. That is about 500 manpower lost, plus of course, you know, the MG42 now in his opponent's hands. Even if you got a scout car, that is not worth an MG42 and a Grenadier squad. So this is really rough. The only sort of real bright spot here is the fact that they've secured the western side of the map with next to no conflict. Steffen though remains doctrineless here versus Artem, and the same with Mechanized Corps. We got the light Mechanized Company being dug in here for the 114th Infanterie Division. Might be support from a nearby Panzergrenadier or Panzer Division. Artem meanwhile is going for another M3A1. He is committed to them. Again, that is very much part of his modus operandi. The scout car. He really likes sort of those raid tactics with it, and that can make him a very unpleasant opponent. So how will Steffen try and counter this? How will he react? I mean, a 2-2 here is going to be pretty helpful versus all the M3A1. Of course, Artem could always just go for anti-tank rifles and the penal troopers. That does mean those penal troopers would be less effective versus infantry, so it wouldn't be an entirely bad trade-off. Panzer Grenadiers versus the penal troopers could also be helpful if you can get them close enough. Looks like he briefly considered the 2-2 there, but decided against it for whatever reasons. But there you go, anti-tank rifles up though. Artem is very much anticipating a scout car or something else, and they're going before trimming on its own versus the Grenadiers, easily pushing away there. Bad luck for Steffen and the German army. Punes from against the Grenadiers. 2-2 on the way there for Steffen, charging in here, surrounding the Grenadier squad. They need to be careful, doesn't lose another one. There you go again. More or less same thing here, rushes through there. Steffen once more unprepared. Almost got the penal troop squad this time around. But it's still looking a bit rough here. S-mines do block some path, and the S-mines can do some light damage to the scout car. Of course, nothing serious. Oh, actually almost took it out. They're roughing it off, pushing back a penal troop squad. So in this case, the S-mines do help Steffen notably. And he goes for the scout car, and then the 2-2 like to punch a Speerwagen. But we got a lot of anti-tank rifles now for Artem, which is actually a bit more interesting. I mean, it is meaning he's willingly decreasing his firepower versus Steffen's troops to focus more on the enemy vehicles he's worried about. To the two swooping in to deal with the isolated MG42 on the western field point. Got another MG42 on the way there for Steffen for Deutschland. And then we've got several machine gun crew members being gunned down by the armoured car. Its cracked machine gun and its ultra cannon just relentlessly tearing into them. Punitive squad, they're falling back, feeling a bit exposed there. Could also just gone for the carve point, cut that off from Steffen a bit there before falling back, but seems like Artem might just have been a bit too unhappy about that. MG42 finally arriving, and of course with armoured assault, Artem is well aware of he's going for a replacement, or in fact whatever he's going for. And he said he's going for another scout car now. He's going for a third M3A1. Instead of taking up, maybe pushing for light tanks, Artem is pulling for another M3A1. Bold move. Granted, I mean, it's not a massively expensive move. I mean, hell, you can get two more or less M3A1s for the cost of one 2-2. And they can end up doing a lot more damage than the 2-2, to be honest, if well handled. There we go, second one on the way. Note he's popping at least one anti-tank rifle squad into it. That's going to help him counter the 2-2. Meaning it's going to be harder there for Steffen to do what he wants again. That in this case, he might have to rely on the Teller mine, or possibly more. In fact, he should be laying down more Teller mines to deal with this, plus any further armoured threats that might arrive from Artem. Turning the 2-2 M14 nearby. There you go, flame for a new straight into the 2-2. Got the anti-tank rifle squad moving in, and their armoured car as well. Engaging here the 2-2 MG42 nearby, but doesn't have incendiary armor. Not too well. No, barely experienced. Still, he gets the flamethrower team, but the 2-2 will go down here to the tank hunter team in the scout car, blowing up. As the anti-tank rifle peels pierce the fuel tank, lighting it all up. Here Gunner's being pushed back with MD42 again. Steffen though remains without a doctrine so far by Artem. His extreme pressure makes it harder for Steffen to do once. Oh! Almost looks like going around to the Telemann while the penal troopers were on it. Don't worry, this is very safe. Very. Oh, shit! Got a penal trooper there besides the scout car. That's going to help Steffen a bit there. That's extra kill there. That's on our 3 scout cars gone. He still has nothing landed, any wipes on Archer. Still, getting 3 scout cars will help some of the losses that Steffen suffered. Some of them, but not all of them, since he also lost his own territory in the process. But it should slow down Archer a bit. Moving for tier 3 there. Steffen having some control of the fuel point there. Is going to try and push that advantage as much as possible versus Artem, which is definitely a very solid. He also sneaking up behind here. Oh, sneaky. Steffen could briefly consider laying down S-mines on the retreat path to try and get wipes. And Artem is going for a 4th penal of a squad and a scout car. He's not taking up. He's just continuing this early aggressive build so far. And the west we got points being secured here. We got a Panzer squad on the way there for Steffen and the German army. Grabbing what he can left and right. The gunner is actually he's technically standing on that point, at least Ludwig is, but for reasons it does not count as actually being on it. There you go. Steffen Cook has laying down his mind. He's also gone for doctrine. It is elite troops. Opening up for G33 stormtroopers and other fun things. And there you go, S-mines on the victory points. Panzer Grenadier arriving here for the 114th Infanterie Division. And up here we got tank battalion command down going up for Artem. So he's cancelled the penal trooper squad, the 4th one. But he's still committed to a 4th scout car. I mean, you really won't see any other player than Artem, I think, go for this many scout cars. Again, they are very much part of how he plays, at least in the early game. Trying to catch the M40 here, but it's not quite working out here. Panzer there being rashed, but the scout car got the pincers following up. MD42 can't stop it again. There's not enough mines to halt it. Not enough gunners nearby. The Panzer there you go. Got one going off, and there we go. Almost got it. The MP40 gunners on the MD42 might be able to finish it off, maybe. Either way, though, Steffen takes no chance, just pops away. Close, though, close. And he actually got the machine gun here in the west using the mortar. Good work there by Steffen. I just need someone to reclaim it before Artem does. Steffen could maybe call some stormtroopers to do it over there. Guns rushing right past all of Artem's forces. Back here healing the enforcement. And while we have takeout for 7 yet to be able to build anything due to the constant pressure there from Artem, they could consider pushing out a support McCall with an Austrian maybe here versus Artem. Artem meanwhile they're going for the T-70 light tank, hitting the fuel here. Sneaking in his infantry with minesweep as well there to grab some of the points here, which Steffen has done his utmost to keep out of Artem and the 7th Mechanized Corps' hands. Panzer there rushing straight into the horde of Russian infantry. Garibaldi lighting up. They're on their own, and they're not going to have too much of an impact. We'd need at least, you know, a couple more Panzer squads, at least some supporting infantry to clear that out. Got the T-70 out here for Artem. One light tank. You know, Petrov, what is it, Pushkin? I wish these tanks were a bit bigger. They will not be light tanks if they were. And Artem is committing to double T-70s. Good God. And Steffen is completely unprepared for this. He's got 9 tank guns, no tanks. The double T-70s are going to go through and through like cholera for London. So Steffen definitely needs to get that support more sooner, get out some Pack 40 to him, because otherwise he is dead meat because Artem's going to strike at him here with double T-70s. There we go. Very nasty tactic there from Artem. Rarely seen, but Artem goes where most players don't, clearly. 4 scout cuts and double T-70s. Steffen is finally taking up, but it's going to be too late. He's going to need a pack 4. He needs to cancel this active. Oh, go for it anyway, but he's going to have to cancel anyway since the T-70 is driving straight into the base. They fear nothing. I mean, if you can get some wipes in with this, I mean, Artem's just going to be so far ahead of Steffen, it's not going to matter even if they get lost or something, I guess. A lot of damage being done here to Steffen's troops inside his base. Almost got a wipe, but so far none. Though it's looking to be pretty close there. In the meanwhile, the Pi needs to spot all of what's happening. He's just building the support core. And they actually managed to finish it. By Jove, they actually managed to finish it. He's going to probably try and panzerfaust the R1 and then finish him off with the pack. It is pretty risky. I mean, he's bleeding out a lot here in the process, but like theoretically, getting, you know, knocked out with a pack 40, that will be a sufficiently big win for Steffen here to sort of pull it off, in part because there's going to be so much fuel loss there for Artem. And any tanks he can get, and he can probably get, and should be able to pull through pretty easily. But meanwhile, the T-70s are doing heavy damage here. 8 and 7 kills, 15 altogether. Lots of bleeding. He got one Grenadier squad wiped at the very least, which is pretty big here. Pretty big. And there you go. First shot, they're going to pack 40 in through the side of the T-70 light tank. He's going to need at least one more. 10 kills there. Getting tricky. He needs to somehow set up the pack 40 at such an angle they can't easily get away from it. Or not even outmaneuvering it in his close quarters. But there you go. Gets one of the T-70s. Artem, I think, is trying to handle something else, but they've got a big push here, so that means the T-70s are moving, which gives his SteffenBK the chance to take them out. Still, these T-70s have caused untold havoc to Steffen. He's going for a third one? There you go, he lost both T-70s in his base, but he's going for a third T-70 light tank. That is crazy. He's being suppressed here. And there you go, third T-70 out for Artem. Steffen's going to have to go for a Panzer IV soon here. Artem is floating a ton of munitions. Could easily consider laying down some mines here and there. T-70 rolling and engaging the Grenadiers inside the house. Is he going to strike at the base as well? That would be pretty silly, I think, with the third T-70 there. But looks like he diverts the tank to not do that. Lots of shots there being fired. Panzer IV on the way for Steffen, and the 1 and 14th Infanterie Division. Armored reinforcements are found on the way here from the 11th Panzer Division. Panzer IV halfway done. SteffenBK has lost most of the map here due to Artem's highly aggressive attacks. He's got 800 manpower, to be honest. He could consider some fuel caches. As to what Artem's plans are, hard to say. Maybe an IS-2 at some point. But he's going to need a fuel cache to make that work. Probably 2. Even if he's got a fuel punch line, it's going to take some time. But there you go. Lost his 30-70 here. Steffen's defense is getting a bit sharper, a bit more coordinated. Able to punish Artem better. So there you go. Panzerfahrt for Steffen. Deutschland. More penal troops for Artem. He's just going for aiming for 5 squads there. Madness. Absolute sheer madness. Morgan is of stem to replace his losses. Good, good. Victory points wise. Steffen does have the lead of Artem here. I still think Artem is better off with some more fuel caches than aiming for that many penal troopers. There's a risk he bleeds himself out too much, so even if he's playing for the Ass or anything else, he's going to not have the manpower then to easily call them in. I mean, I could be wrong, but that was at least because of my perspective for now. Yeah. 5 penal troopers scored here from Artem. I mean, he's clearly playing his own game, and to an extent he's doing it pretty well. That is encountering some issues here against Steffen. Troops pulling apart here. We got the Panzer Force slowly giving way here, building distance between it and the infantry, which is very sensible here. 5 penal troopers scored, and they're all equipped with a tank rifles more or less, except for the last one to arrive here. And Artem is actually getting rather close to the IS-2 pretty fast by now. I still think fuel caches might help out a bit further with that one. Panzer IV roaming about, looking for targets with which to snuff out. Here we go, the penal troopers at guard. Gonna try and get close enough to pop an anti-tank rifle with it, or to tank south to chop out the punches nearby with their Sturmgewehrs, providing accurate and lethal covering fire. Disturb and connect, you go for another Panther IV right out now, but first has to go for Pioneers. So he actually has something to repair his tanks with. Also, my apologies for the hiccups. So, yeah, I think Artem is just now trying to play into an IS-2. And thanks to the map controller's early sort of tactics gained him, it's actually looking like it's going to happen. Which is a bit crazy. Just a bit. 200 points left there for Artem. He's getting glass here with the Panzer IV gun release by support. We got a second Panzer on the way there for Steffen for Deutschland. The West gun is being pushed back here by the penal trooper squad. Nothing big then. Both players been sort of light, been focusing on the east. There's definitely put a bit more, I think, emphasis on the west, which has definitely helped him a lot here several times versus Artem. Successfully pushed back there. We got a sniper now all of a sudden for Artem. A sniper. A lot of mines here. Roughly 2 minutes away from an IS-2 actually for Artem. So it's going to be 2 Panzer IVs that they made on. We could actually have a chance for a Stuke before that. Then versus the IS-2. Plus, of course, an awful lot of anti-tank rifles from the penal troopers. And there you go, Panzer gets a taste of it. The P2S is just plinking away. Mein Gott, Fritz, are Sie throwing rocks at us? Nein, just shooting anti-tank rifles. Isn't that the same? Well, blames the Canadians, they aren't. Shots fired at the penal troopers behind heavy cover. Panzer Force will struggle a bit to dig them out, to be honest. Though destroying the truck does help a bit towards the goal of destroying the penal troopers behind the truck. Decent hit from the Panzer on the penal troopers. Artem is being slightly more cautious now, but he's also really, really close to the IS-2. Less than a minute now. He's also got plenty of missing to pop in some Sturmwick attacks here to catch up some of Steffen's troops as well. Bun grenade straight to the penal trooper horde. Suffer some losses in the west. Panther 4 with MG42 support pushes back the penal trooper squad there. Very good work by Steffen there. Seconds away from the IS-2 for Artem. Seconds away. Panzer IV stacking a mine. Artem's really been mining a lot. As you can see by the way he mines. He also layers the mines a bit. And there you go. He spotted one, at least knew what one was, but there's actually another mine, then he then drove straight into it. In which case Artem's a bit sneaky. He might even lay down that mine. There's a decoy making his one thing. Alright, I shot that mine, there can't be any other mines, and then he just drives into it. But we got the IS-2 out here for Artem. He knows it's an easy target here thanks to the mine being set off. At least one tank setting off, so he's probably able to pursue it and destroy it. Let's see if Steffen can do something to salvage it. More pioneers on the way. There you go. IS-2 shoots, misses the Panzer IV with its first hit. That's not a good start there for the IS-2. That is not a good start. Taking hits though from other weapons, including a Pack 4. They're opening up the rear end. Got a target weak point off, stunning the IS-2. Excellent work there by Steffen. Artem, overreaching in all of his greed, has suffering critical hits to his IS-2. And rushing it with no support there has proved to be a critical mistake there. In particular since it resulted in him exposing the rear of the IS-2 to a Pack 40 with no chance getting out of there. So with it so with this, he's going to end up losing the IS-2. So well played there, to be honest, by Steffen. Artem there got way too greedy with his IS-2, way too greedy. And he just got punished for it. But it does, I think, overall fit with Artem's overall methodology. Again, his reliance on a high aggression. But he's not so good at coordinating, I think, stuff like tanks and infantry that well. Had he been able to do that, I think Steffen would have been in much more trouble. Steffen has not been able to effectuate several effective defenses against Artem, wearing him down and ultimately crushing him. So in this regard, you know, really well played here by Steffen, really well played, solid in fact. And there you go, GG, game over. Artem surrenders, or these retreats. 114th Infanterie Division remains victorious. So that was a very rough battle here on several levels. Several times Steffen was really close to losing there with all the scout cars and the T-70s. I think the issue was Artem there, I think, committed too much to the light vehicles at times, also failed to take it fast enough, and then instead went for the IS-2. In that regard, ending up with a slight disjointed strategy, also no use of his abilities like the Sturmovik air support. I think there are definitely that ways, several ways that Artem could have done a lot better versus Steffen, also more flanking, and maybe a mortar with smoke. Steffen, I think, handled it pretty well there. I mean, he was in a highly aggressive strategy there from Artem, put Steffen under a lot of pressure. He was able to remain calm, cool, collected, and just slowly but surely count it, wear it down, and then turn the game around. It was a rough start there, losing his MG42 and his Grenadiers, and there possibly could have been a few more mines to try and catch up any other scout cars Artem might have thrown at him. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. So thank you all for joining. Hope you all see you all for another episode. This is Imperial signing off, and see you all tomorrow. Cheers.